From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Last Wednesday marked the start of the spring semester at Troy University, meaning time to get back to the books after a long holiday break. Lydia Williams hit the campus to find out student expectations for the spring.
The spring semester of 2018 has just begun, and students explain what they are looking forward to.
I'm honestly looking forward to making all A's this semester and just meeting new people and adding on to the connections that I've already made here at Troy University.
I don't have a single class that starts before 10 a.m. and I'm very happy about it.
So I'm looking forward to all the events that we have planned, my new classes, meeting new people, and just getting ahead of the game in my academics.
I'm really just looking forward to being back with my friends. I'm excited we're going on a spring break trip, so that should be fun, and just getting another semester out of the way.
I look forward to starting my education classes and getting into my major stuff.
Taking those classes, that will help me in going to the graduate school in the near future.
Great events that my sorority has planned for everything to happen in Troy, and I'm also just excited for everyone to just see how amazing the school is and for those freshmen to really experience Troy University.
And while students are looking forward to the semester, they also have a few goals that they want to accomplish.
To have a 4.0 GPA.
My biggest goal of the semester is to have as many friends as possible.
Be more involved in campus and definitely hit for a 4.0 this semester.
Keep my 4.0.
Planning to go to medical school as soon as I graduate.
For me to make long-lasting impressions on my teachers.
Really just making good grades in all my classes and getting through the semester.
Lydia Williams, Troy TrojanVision News.
The George Wallace Drive entrance to campus will soon have a whole new look, thanks to a construction project that started over the holiday break. Nathaniel Rodriguez gives us a look at what the new project will hold for Troy University.
Troy University is marking the start of a new semester with a major change on campus, the construction of the new recreational center. Originally, the rec center was to break ground in the fall of 2017, but an extensive logistics process pushed construction to January.
It really is just a back and forth game with contractors, as well as getting paperwork finalized through the city to get everything where it needs to be and all of the approvals in place before construction can actually start.
The rec center will include 2 gyms with a mat court and hard court, weight rooms, a track for runners, and an outdoor pool, as well as other features.
It's an opportunity for us to be able to go to the gym to work out, to be healthy, and to really enhance our physical well-being without having to go to a gym off campus in the community. And not to take away from any of those gyms, but now this is something that's included in our rights as a student.
Several Troy students said the rec center will be beneficial to students who want to stay in shape.
Honestly, I think it's much needed. With the current weight room that they have right now, there's not much capacity there. It's very crowded.
I really like the fact that there's going to be like a place for yoga, and then there's like 2 separate weight rooms, 2 separate gyms, and the pool. The pool is really cool because I know we've got the nap, but like an outdoor pool is like a really cool idea too, because like sometimes you just want to get sun.
As of right now, construction is still in its earliest phases, as construction crews are now breaking down the Sartain parking lot to form the ground on which the rec center will be built. After the rec center is completed, Sartain Hall will be torn down to make room for more parking, which, with the lot across from the Trojan Center, will add 500 spaces to Troy University's campus. Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy TrojanVision News.
And the university officially broke ground on the new rec center project on Friday afternoon. Anna Kate Patterson gives us a look at what all went into getting the project to the point where the university could break ground on the highly anticipated project.
On Friday, Troy University will officially break ground on the new Recreation Center construction project. The Rec Center has been a pet project for past SGA presidents, and the current president, Ashley Morris, is glad to see it come to fruition.
So I would say 5. I'm the 5th SGA president that this has kind of been on the agenda for. And so right now is super exciting with all of us in transition. All of us really know each other. So it's a super important thing for all of us because we know that it's going to be so valuable to the student body and to the university as well.
And one of the SGA presidents who helped start the process of a new rec center on campus is planning on attending Friday's groundbreaking as a way of seeing his past efforts come to life.
We're so excited. Our previous SGA president, Cody Farrell, will be there. He was one of the SGA presidents who really head started and really pushed this on the agenda of administration. So we're super excited to bring him back for this and to celebrate this with him. And administration will be there to, talk about how important this is and how valued it is by our student body and by the people on our campus.
Although the groundbreaking will take place on Friday, Morris says it has taken a lot of work to build up to what students are seeing right now.
I do know that it is taken over a year. There has been work and meetings with contractors for over a year, and as well as students. So there have been students in those meetings really advocating on behalf of students for space, for equipment, for the things that we really want and that we think students will use. And so it's been a long progress. It's been a lot of hard work, and there are so many students who have put forth effort into making sure that it is everything that we can possibly get for students.
Anna Kate Patterson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The opening of a brand new parking lot outside the Trojan Center and the closing of the old Sartain lot has caused a ripple effect of changes in parking zones on campus this semester. Brianna Jones takes a look at what areas will be affected by the changes.
While Troy is continuing to expand its campus nearly every day, there has been one issue students seem to always have: parking. With the new recreation center in plan, it calls for some of those parking spots to be removed. However, students did gain an entire new parking lot as well.
There's 548 new spaces that we will gain. Now, unfortunately, we lost some parking, in the Sartain lot, but, that was for progress, and that's the new student rec center. But when that's completed, there will be parking coming back online there. So really the net gain for this semester is 300 parking spaces. So I think that's all positive.
Unfortunately for one student, a negative outcome, she said, was one of the parking lots which sits behind Patterson Hall now being closed for students and strictly used for faculty and staff.
I kind of feel a little bit disappointed about that because there's more students than there are faculty. So I just feel like there should definitely be more parking for us because, we're here to learn. We need to go to school, and we're going to be late to class because we can't find a parking spot, and that's going to hinder us from learning. I think that parking has gotten better, but it still needs a little bit of work. They just made a new parking lot, and I feel like too many regulations on it. Like they changed it where some park lots for students, some for commuters, and some for teachers. I just feel like it needs to be more of just regular student parking because the campus is getting bigger, but there's not enough parking spots for all the students we have.
For students who are just finding out about the change to that parking lot, be aware that all of the spaces have yet to be labeled for only faculty due to weather.
No, we've not been able to change those spaces simply because with it being cold and then raining. Hopefully we're going to do that next week. So I've told them just to be very lenient on it until we get to the point where we can paint those. Hopefully we're going to get them painted first next week, and then we'll make the changes in that lot across from New Hall too.
Brianna Jones, Troy, TrojanVision News.
We'll take a short break, but when we return, Troy University students got a few extra days off this week. We'll show you how they spent them. Hint, it involves snowballs. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Now back to Troy TrojanVision News Weekly.
Mother Nature gave Troy University students a little break from class as snow and icy conditions shut down the school for a day and a half. Of course, the sub-freezing temperatures didn't keep Troy students from enjoying a rare opportunity to play in the snow. Seth Carpenter gives us a look at how Troy students spent their snow day.
Snow. What is snow? It is a question asked quite often by students here at Troy who rarely get to see snow. But yesterday, students got to find out firsthand what snow feels like. And I had the opportunity to ask students what their plans were for the snow day.
I came out and I saw the snow, and then I went back inside where it was warm. And now I'm back out again, so.
To go home and get under the blankets and drink hot cocoa.
Just stay out here, make snowballs, and hopefully hit a bunch of people in the face with them.
Honestly, probably walking around Troy, looking at everything covered in snow. It all looks so pretty. Just want to take it all in.
To go home and get warm. It's real chilly out here.
In spite of the abnormally cold weather today, students still came outside to have some fun in the snow, and I got to ask them what their favorite part of the day was.
So it's been walking around and taking cool pictures with my friend Jordan Taylor, and having an impromptu snowball fight with Justin. It was so much fun.
Probably getting to wake up and walk out to the snow and we just got a puppy, so take the puppy out and just play with him in the snow. It was a good time.
Watching the dogs play and staying inside.
Probably waking up and then going and playing in the snow with my friends.
Honestly, just having fun in the snow with my dogs. It's been the most fun here.
Seth Carpenter, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Troy University students are making a small part of the world a better place in honor of civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr. Students spent Tuesday morning cleaning up a piece of Troy Elementary School to help improve some educational opportunities for the students there. Seth Hawk has the details.
Troy University's Office of Civic Engagement has begun a new project in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King at Troy Elementary School.
So we're here today for the Martin Luther King Jr. Service Day project, and so what we're doing out here is leveling out some dirt right behind me to make an outdoor classroom.
The Office of Civic Engagement serves the Troy community in some form every year for Martin Luther King Day. And the coordinator of the Office of Civic Engagement says that this is a long time coming for Troy Elementary School.
Troy Elementary School has been wanting this for a long time, but really not the money or the time to do it. And we have a grant from the Youth Service America Foundation, which is a federal organization, and we were granted $1,500 to start this project.
As you can see behind me, the volunteers are very hard at work. And according to one volunteer, all the hard work and sweat that will go into this will be worth it in the end.
You know, there's so much more than worrying about, grades or a job. Just to really care for something outside of yourself really benefits you. Just doing a little bit of manual labor for somebody that can't pay you back at all. I think the moral reward outweighs any sweat equity we put into it.
The Office of Civic Engagement hopes to have both outdoor classrooms completed by the Youth Day of Service in April. Seth Hawk, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Troy will see new employment opportunities come into the city with the announcement of gun maker Kimber bringing a manufacturing plant to the city. Anna Kate Patterson takes a look at what the announcement means for the city.
Citizens of Troy have been buzzing in discussion ever since Governor Kay Ivey's big announcement on Monday. A Kimber firearms factory will be built in Troy. When, where, and what does this mean for city economics are just a few questions we have all been asking. I spoke with Mayor Jason Reeves to get a few answers.
Well, I'm hoping with just in the next 30 days we'll have all the design and engineering completed and can get moving.
The company will be located in the Industrial Park South, occupying and renovating an existing 50,000 square foot building and constructing an additional 150,000 square foot state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. And according to Reeves, not only will Kimber be bringing the gun factory to Troy, but also building an engineering and design department.
They're going to be designing new products down here which will bring in very talented people from all over.
Reeves says Kimber will bring in a minimum of 366 new jobs to Troy, offering an average salary of over $22 an hour.
When you have good, high-paying jobs like this, it makes a difference. The jobs that surround it, the overall economic impact that it creates for everyone is substantial. So, the sum of the parts is so much greater, than the whole.
Reeves says his hope is that the project will be completed and the facility fully functional by early 2019. Anna Kate Patterson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We're going to take another quick break, but when we come back, Troy students rolled into the semester with some fun. We'll show you what they did right after this.
I think what Troy Public Radio does uniquely in this community is take the time to tell longer stories. That's one benefit of public radio, is that we actually have a lot of time to delve into an issue, to delve into a story. We're able to take the time to tell longer stories. And really, radio is such a personal medium and it's such a direct medium that I think when we're doing that, and we're doing it specifically in this community, we're giving you a different perspective on the world and a different perspective on what you need for your daily life. And also bringing you closer to the people that live in your community. Maybe it's not somebody who lives next door to you or even down the street from you. Maybe it's somebody who lives 2 counties over, but you know their story and you know why it's important because you've spent time with them, listening to them on the radio, and a large amount of time. So I think that's what makes Troy Public Radio unique to this part of the world and unique to what we do every day.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Although campus has been buzzing with students now being back on campus, there were a group of students on campus last week that weren't exactly Troy University students. High school choir students were on campus for Troy's 11th annual Southeastern United States High School Honor Choir. Students got a chance to sing with Troy choir members before their big final concert. Chelsea Law has the details.
Troy University held its 11th annual Southeastern United States High School Honor Choir Invitational Friday morning in Long Hall. High school students from all over the southeastern part of the United States came together with current Troy choir members to sing in harmony.
I often have my students visit colleges throughout the year, but we don't always get to sing with the college singers or other students from other high schools. So when I heard about this opportunity, I brought them, and they've become more interested in college since bringing them to this event, especially singing in college, and some of them are auditioning for Troy today.
Although the event is focused on high school students, it is also an experience some Troy students get to take away some valuable lessons from.
It's a lot more pressure, but honestly, it's a lot more fun because I get to have fun with these kids, help them be a lot more comfortable with being here around new people. It's really been fun so far.
High school teachers had the chance to be on the other side of the chalkboard and learn something new as well.
I love watching the clinician and Dr. Brown and Dr. O working with the students, and sometimes I hear the same things I would say in my classroom, so I can say, hey, I say that too, or I learn something new and I can take that back. So it's a little bit like professional development for me, so that's good.
And one Troy student offers advice to current high school choir members on how to transition themselves from being in a high school choir to performing on a collegiate level.
My advice would be, if it's your passion, do it, because music is a great thing. If you have a love for it, which clearly, since all of them are here, they do have a love for it, that just do it.
Students will continue to practice through Saturday morning in preparation for their concert that will be held on Saturday evening in Long Hall. Chelsea Law, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
While the old Sartain Hall parking lot may not have any room for wheels right now, the same cannot be said for inside the building. However, these wheels were on the feet of Troy students as they got to have a little fun to kick off the semester. Paige Weeks has all the action.
A new semester means it's time for students to start hitting the books. But Wednesday night, Troy's University Activities Council found a way to help students skate around those books. Sartain Hall was transformed from a basketball court to a roller skating rink as the UAC invited Troy students to come out and skate for free.
We wanted to go ahead and start out with a bang, something that would give everyone a chance to have fun and just kind of relax after the first day of classes.
Students from all skating backgrounds turned out for the event, and for some seasoned skaters, it was a chance to show off their skills.
I used to win trophies as a little kid for skating, but you gotta watch out for other people. It's a little dangerous, but you can help other people, give them advice, but otherwise have a great time.
Super skaters weren't the only ones having fun. Beginner skaters got in on the action too.
With the next few months jam-packed with homework, tests, and assignments, what better way than to kick off this semester than with a skate night to get the ball rolling?
And through all the fun, Skate Night's goal was achieved, and that goal was to bring students together as a Trojan family.
It does get the students out. It gets them involved in stuff on campus and involved with each other. People get to know each other and they make friends.
Missed out on Skate Night? Don't worry. The UAC has plenty of events in store, including one of the most popular events, $2 Movie Night, which will begin next week. Paige Weeks, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The Johnson Center for the Arts has started off the new year with some new exhibits. Nathaniel Rodriguez gives us a look at one of those new exhibits.
The Johnson Center for the Arts has opened its first exhibit of the year in its upper gallery. The exhibit features the artwork of Charlie Tin Man Lucas, a Selma artist known for turning found objects into works of art.
On this particular piece, you can find old roofing tin, old lighting fixtures, another lighting fixture, and it's a matter of just having an eye to pick those types of things out.
According to Hopper, the Johnson Center brought Lucas's artwork to Troy through a connection with its exhibition coordinator, Wiley White.
Many of the artists that we are able to exhibit here really come from connections around the state and those connections with Wiley White and others that share that with us.
Later in the year, Lucas will be at a reception for the artists at the Johnson Center, where he will answer questions about himself and his artwork.
It's a time to let the people that come to the reception experience the arts here and experience the artist.
Originally, the center scheduled the reception for Thursday night, but due to complications with snowy weather, it will be pushed back to another date, which has yet to be determined. Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Well, it's time for our last break. When we return, we'll take a look back at the Trojan football team's success this past season. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Troy University was one of the very first in America to really embrace technology and to deliver coursework at a distance. We do a wonderful job in class, but we also are committed to doing that same wonderful job online. What we're there to do is to meet the student where he or she is and to help them reach their potential. Truly, we know our students by name and not by number, and that's what you find at Troy University.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I think it goes around.
Let's go. We gotta get you in practice.
And it's set.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
The Trojan football team wrapped up their season with a win in the New Orleans Bowl. We'll learn what that win could mean for the program in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we're going to be talking a little football, even though the season is over, with Director of Athletics Jerry McLean to talk about football success, bowl game, just kind of a wrap up of how things went. And obviously, great season for Trojan football.
Yeah, a lot of fun. You know, to come off of a 10-win season last year in 2016 and have high expectations going into the year. It's a little bit of pressure. It's a little different situation, but I thought our coaches and our players handled it really well. Had a great win against LSU that brought us a lot of national exposure. Really played well down the stretch in conference play, and obviously winning a conference championship, that was a goal at the beginning of the year, and we were able to accomplish that. And then the opportunity to play again in the New Orleans Bowl, which I think was really special, not just for our players, I think, but our fan base really enjoyed the opportunity to go back to New Orleans and be a part of that.
And the conference championship, obviously, that was one of the big goals when Neil got to campus. And at one point during the season, obviously, it felt like that had gone away, and there wasn't an option because of the way the schedules play out. But then once it returned, and then once the Trojans were able to grab that, I know that's got to mean a lot for the program and just athletics as a whole to return to the glory days of conference championships.
Yeah, absolutely. 2005 to 2010, we won 5 conference championships in a row, and the goal, one of the things we missed in 2016 was that conference championship. And so for the goal for this program in 2017 was to get back to that point, get back that trophy we felt belonged here in Troy. And so our coaches are very excited about that. It's something for them to build on, obviously. Great addition in recruiting to be able to say your conference championships, to be able to show off the rings. And so really a shot in the arm for our program.
And of course, and things kind of change up next year because there'll be that conference championship game introduced, so an opportunity to take another step up for this program to be in the hunt for that championship game and even the potential to host the game, right? So,
yeah, correct. And that's something we obviously have our eyes on.
Yeah.
You know, the highest ranked team will have the opportunity to host that first conference championship, and it'll be on ESPN. It'll be broadcast and be another opportunity to be in the national spotlight. And so we'd love for that thing to be here at the Vet and have a great crowd in early December and get a chance to win another conference championship.
And talking about the national spotlight, let's go back to the bowl game, which is an amazing experience for fans, and not to mention a big win. So that's always a good thing when national television exposure and to have Troy perform the way they did in that bowl game.
Yeah, I thought we played our best game of the year, quite honestly. Had some seniors that played really, really well. Was proud of Brandon Silver, Josh Anderson, Sam Levy, and a group of guys that were finishing up their careers and really played well against a really good football team on the other side. North Texas had a phenomenal year, had won the West side of Conference USA, and so just a great way to finish. And I think, got a lot of votes at the end of the year in a coaches poll and an AP poll, and I think that said a lot about how people recognizing what we did. Obviously, our goal is to get into that top 25, but it's a great step for our program.
And of course, and the rankings and the way it kind of played out, Troy only made an appearance in the top 25 in the, I believe, the USA Today poll.
That's right.
But still made a pretty good showing towards the bottom of that, just barely cracking those other polls. And once again, another layer of national recognition. Obviously, something you strive for the top 25, but still being considered in there in that talk is something that's got to be good for promoting the program.
It is. I think we finished 31st in one poll and maybe 28th in another. And so to be able to take that into the offseason, talk about it during recruiting, to be something you shoot for, especially as we're opening next year against Boise State, which will be, they'll be ranked in the top 25. And so there'll be a lot of eyes on that game, I think, again. So we keep talking about national relevance and being in the national spotlight. But just finishing in a position where you're close gives us an opportunity to keep that in the forefront and talk about that moving into the kickoff for next year.
And obviously, that's one of those things that even this year, that Boise-Troy matchup was that group of five, powerhouses, there. And so, facing off against each other. And obviously the way the season ended, that obviously gets a little bit more relevance for this game coming up.
Yeah, so. I think it does. And I think it'll, and I hope that we pack out the Vet for that first game. But I think it will.
With the brand new renovations
all
completed.
It'll be our first game with the renovations to the stadium. And I think it's a great opportunity for us, again, to be on that stage. And we did this year. We didn't play great against Boise when we went out there. So I know our guys and our coaches will be focused on that in the offseason. It'll be a point that they hit on and talk about a lot in their offseason conditioning and spring practice. It'll be a great opportunity for us to match up with the top 25 program and have them at home with our opportunity to start the year with a signature win.
And get some eyeballs on those renovations as well. Because obviously folks being there and seeing it and coming along nicely, you drive past it, and it's an amazing looking facility already. It's not even finished.
Yeah, it's going to change really the feel, the sound, everything about our stadium. I think it's going to feel different. It's going to be an intimate setting. It's going to be what we really want to create. And we've had great crowds last year. We've set attendance records the last couple of years. We want to create an atmosphere where it's really, really difficult for teams to come in and play and win football games. We want to be undefeated at home, and we want our crowd to be a part of that. And so I think that building is going to give us an opportunity to create an even tougher environment because it's that bowl's in our stadium. It's right on top of the field. And so I'm excited about what that looks like and what it's going to mean for our program.
Well, I'm excited to see it once it's finished and to see that win against Boise to start the season next year.
That makes two of us.
Jeremy, thanks for joining us
Thanks,
today.
Aaron.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the first week of January 2017. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune into Troy Trojan Vision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy Trojan Vision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy Trojan Vision News. We'll be joining us again next week for another edition of Troy Trojan Vision Weekly. Have a good week.